Hey everybody. So we're going to do another tutorial kind of thing over the course of time. This one's probably going to be a few different parts as we start getting caught up on stuff, and I'm waiting for things to come in, and it's going to take a little more progress to get things done in here, but let me show you what we got going on. This house has a lot of cracking going on. And you can see, if you look at it in all this plaster, somebody has once tried to repair it. I've got it coming down in some of the corners and traveling up, and it's about this way all the way through the house. Not everywhere, but especially on the interior walls, not so much the exterior. So you can see, like right here, where they grooved in and tried to repair it over the course of time. And what we need to first do is figure out why it is the way it is. If we just try to repair the plaster and patch over top of it and cover it all up, we're not actually getting to the root of the problem. There's something going on that is causing this all to settle, all to sag, and starting to crack and have some issues where things are starting to kind of let loose. Now, if you come into the kitchen, you can see, here's the ceiling. Here's where it's starting to let loose some. I did have to come, let me zoom out on this a little bit. I did just throw up drywall and kind of mudded it good enough to get the mortgage company off my back when we bought the place. So I went through and I slapped drywall up and covered it with mud and just basically hid the lath that was exposed from a previous failure of where it was attached up. Now, to understand plaster, you got to kind of understand how it works. So we're going to go into that real quick. This is the wonderful bathroom that's still kind of under construction. You can see another section that had fallen that I had to fix to appease the mortgage company. But what you'll see here is how this plaster's actually designed. Forgive my light. It's, like I said, mid-progress. So you've got your studs, and then you have your lath, and then through a series of coats, they will go in and push this plaster in through the lath. And here on the back side, you can see right here are what they refer to as keys. Now, in an ideal situation, this is squishing out a lot. I've noticed that whoever put this plaster up didn't necessarily use as much as they were supposed to. So not using as much as they were supposed to, they're kind of running across that mechanical attachment that it has, where the plaster's pushed through the lath and then it slumps back and kind of hangs down, mechanically latches that onto the lath. So this has been kind of minimized on this lath, and it's not adhering the way that it's supposed to. And I'm finding this all throughout the house, through all the cracks. Now in the bathroom, I'm covering over. I've actually taken an exterior grade siding, and I've gone horizontal with it, painted it and kind of dressed it up. I've gotten part way through, but I need to relocate the light to the ceiling and go from there. But I need to figure out why this stuff is starting to let loose worse than it is. So the first problem that we found was that it's not mechanically adhering to the wall like it's supposed to anymore. So the next step is to figure out why it's only on the interior walls, because the exterior walls, like if you come over here and check out the exterior walls, they're in pretty good shape. Forgive my shower head that's setting up there because it's going to it's got another shower, so we've been using that. So we're gonna go down into the basement and see if we can figure out where it's going from next. Welcome to our lovely basement. It's not terribly tall ceilings in here. Now, going all the way around the perimeter of the foundation is a poured cement wall, and it goes all the way around. Now, up here in the going down the center of the house, this big beam. Now, I can already see that we've had a couple of issues, and we're gonna go take a look at those. Now, we can see that there used to be posts. One right here that doesn't even do anything anymore, and then another jack that was put here that, I mean, it's holding a lot, and you can see it is bowing pretty hard because there is a lot of pressure, a lot of weight. because partially we can see that there's another beam right here that isn't doing anything, because when I first bought the place, there's this post that acted as a jack, and unfortunately, yeah, the whole bottom of it rotted out. So what we've got going on, and then if you come over here, you got another post that is kind of doing the job, but yeah, she's not working really too structurally sound these days. And as I look, I found right here this big beam that runs across that goes all the way down the length of the house. Now this has been a bunch of different sections of lumber that's been nailed together to make this beam, but there's nothing supporting it here, so this is actually cracked. So we're gonna go through, probably throw some glue in there and start getting this thing back where it needs to be. So I'm gonna replace all 3 of these support posts that go throughout the that go across in the basement, the length of the house. And in doing so, I'm going to slowly bring everything back up to where it's supposed to be. And then we're going to start repairing the plaster, because if I just start repairing the plaster now, it's just going to be more of a problem. And yeah, I could rip it all out and put up drywall, but I want to keep the character of the original house as much as possible. And some things are going to get updated, but you know, I like the plaster. I'm going to save it. I've got an idea for how I'm going to do that, and we're going to go into a little bit of detail in a second. This is a traditional way to repair them. They call them plaster buttons. You would use a drywall screw and then use this with the screw and attach it to the plaster, going around in all of the locations here and tying it into the lath all the way up. The problem I don't like about these is it takes a lot of skim coating to cover it, and it makes your walls look really wavy. So I've got some ideas. I'm going to use an adhesive approach that, well, basically I came up with the idea after doing a lot of research and finding somebody else who was doing something similar, but I think their stuff is outrageously expensive, so we're going to do a cheaper version. And I've got the jacks on order. Those will be here next couple days. Yeah, I could run down to Home Depot, but whatever. If I don't have to go to a store and I could just order them online, my time's worth something to me. Then yeah, as I get the stuff together, we're going to start working on this and start getting everything up, because I really want to paint these rooms, but I can't justify doing it because yeah, there's a lot of like residual just haze from it being a really old house, and I want to make this place our own and really get to it, and I'm done procrastinating. So stay tuned.